Hi everyone, this is Dawn Moret, and I am super sick. Um, I have a cold or something, but I still wanted to make a video. In fact, do you ever, like, when you're sick, actually have really weird, interesting ideas that, seem to come out of nowhere? Um, Not having any rights is like the path to joyfulness. Um, because if we think we have a bunch of rights and then okay, so let's take examples, right? So we've got I think I've got land rights or water rights to something, and then people come and shoot me in the face and take it. Or I think that I have the right to um, dress skimpy on Halloween and go chug a huge thing of liquor and then walk home and be safe. And I think that that's a right. And then I have like a horrible incident where I'm beaten or raped or something. Um, what I'm saying is I'm not saying that we don't have rights or that we do, but I'm saying, like, beyond all that, the concepts of that, right? This is just a thought exercise. So let's, like, because I believe it's transformational, and I believe it leads to joyousness, because so much of our discomfort comes from judging things and being confused. That's the thing. We're very confused animals right now. Um, so I mean, for hundreds of years now, we've been, in the process of domestication. So, my food comes from the store and it's like already made, it's in a little box or whatever. So, I've lost the ability to go find my own food. Um, and so I'm completely dependent on the grocery store. So I could think, well, I've got a right to food. I've got a right to um, go to the grocery store, and maybe I have money, or maybe I've applied and gotten a food stamp card from the government. I've got a right to eat, right? No, no, I actually don't. I don't have a right to eat. I don't have a right to water. I don't have a right to a nice shelter. I don't have a right to um, not get beaten or not get raped or not get killed or not, be lit on fire. I don't have I don't actually have any rights, right? So we don't actually have rights. What we have is agreements, and agreements are amazing and awesome, but agreements are entered into with two functional parties, two adult parties. That's an agreement. So a right is something where we're born into it, where we can still be a total child, and this is where, so the domestication comes in, because we never reach adulthood if we're domesticated. So my news comes in little bits, little bite-sized chunks, right? And my food comes in little bite-sized chunks, and mommy and daddy, which is society, is still feeding me everything I need, right? So I can go to work and make money and think that I'm an adult, but I'm not an adult. Actual adults know that, like, we're on this planet. It's a wild experience. It's a wild ride, and there actually are no rights. I don't have a right to have a good day. I don't have a right to keep living. I don't have a right to a kidney transplant. I don't have a right to shit. I don't have a right to anything. And that's so liberating. It's so freeing. It's so amazing that I actually don't have any rights. And so what do I have? I have responsibility for myself, right? So I have power to take care of myself. I have the ability to respond to my own needs. I have the responsibility. So so what can I do with that? I can figure out, ways to get food, ways to get water, ways to get all the things I need, and I'm operating in the system of society. Um, but I'm still conscious of the fact that I'm diving into society to get my needs met. But this is not something that has always existed, and this is not something that will always exist. Like, we are wild and crazy apes who are making agreements, and hopefully they're conscious agreements. Because this is the thing: if we have an unconscious agreement, that's not an agreement. That's a delusion. We're delusional. We're delusional, and we're delusional victims running around, like, with our heads chopped off. America looks like a bunch of fucking chickens right now with no heads on them. Like we're delusional. And the thing about it, like the reason why I mean I've said some things about Trump, like, and it's not that I think that Trump is some great guy. Okay. It's not that at all. It's that I believe that with the upheaval that will come if he actually is president, that America and the world will reach a new tier of spiritual adulthood. And I do think, it will come through struggle. It's not always easy. I'm throwing off all this mucus, right? This infection, and it would be easier for me to just take some Dayquil, right, or something, and try to like just send it back into my tissues. And I don't want to detox right now. I don't have time, and I don't want to feel bad, right? But like the best thing for my body is just gonna be let it all go, purge it out, right? And this is what, like, the broad metaphor here is like, this is the time in which victims and people that are responsible and sovereign for themselves, like we're gonna have an episode of Darwinism in which the people that want to take responsibility for themselves will thrive, and people that don't, well, I don't know, but I want to be one of the people that, is taking responsibility for herself. And I feel like this is something that's really, really, really important. The time to be a child to the government, and to think that we have this natural inborn right to have a great life and to have a bunch of rights and all our food and shelter and water taken care of. The fact that we have the right to not get shot in the face with a rubber gun, or have our horse shot, or all these things, right? That we've got some sort of like, it's not reality. It's not reality. And when it's like we get smacked with reality. I have a right to walk down the street and not have anyone talk to me. Well, and then someone talks to me, and I'm confused because I thought I had a right, and then I just found out that something actually in reality was not that. And so, where does that leave me? So something about my belief was wrong, and then we start, questioning what's going on. The thing about it is, like, waking up to reality is not always super fun, but if we have a sense of humor, it can be a very joyous process. Like, we've got to infuse a sense of humor in this thing. That's what I'm trying to do. Like enough with the fear and the um, all the just. We've got to find a sense of humor, because that's what will be our saving grace as we go through these times, as we wake up, is just having some joy. What if you're in a situation where you were walking, or you had some sort of carriage, and you went a few days without food, right? I mean, all these things, you get very dour, right? Very dour and very serious. Thing is, though, nobody here is going to actually survive forever. We're all going to die. It's just a matter of when. So let's have some fun. Let's have some fun with it. Let's have some joy. And the greatest thing about not having any rights is the enjoyment, the pleasure that comes from knowing that, okay, I don't have any rights to food, but I'm hungry. Okay, now when I find a way to meet that need, and especially if I find a way to eat something really amazing, something organic, something fruit-based, something that's really fitting for my somatotype, for my body, and maybe I get to share that with someone who I really like as well, someone who I enjoy, okay? So this is a blissful experience, because it's not a right. I'm not getting what I have a right to, right? Whether it's the time with the person, or whether it's the amazing, food, but it's all gravy, it's all frosting, it's all amazingness, because I was starting at a baseline of nothing, and it was all good, right? And we see people, like, basically, so Donald Trump personifies being spoiled, being a spoiled brat, okay? Like, so, and America is this huge spoiled brat. So it's like this destiny thing that we would be attached to Donald Trump and we would get to learn this amazing, amazing, amazing set of lessons. This is what, like sometimes in order to surpass something, you've got to get triggered. You've got to be like, holy shit, what's happening? And then we get to have this like amazing growth experience. But there's no point in fighting it, you guys. There's no point in fighting it. And there's definitely, I do not advise being a victim. If we're looking at the government or the military or anybody to be our mommy and daddy and save our little asses, no, we need to find out like where are the springs that we can get, delicious clean water from. We don't even have clean water in this country. It's full of fluoride. It's full of fluoride, which is not good for your brain. And like we got to take responsibility. Like, where am I sourcing my needs? Where am I finding my food? Where am I finding my water? Where am I finding my shelter? Where am I finding my people? This is all on me. I can't expect anyone else to do it, right? Like I have to become an adult, and then as far as my own personal case, it's like I need to become an adult, like a real adult, and then I can care for others, right? As it is, it's like this waking up and realizing like, okay, I'm a spoiled child, and it's not fun to be a spoiled child. This is well, I'll make another video about that. It's not fun at all, right? Taking responsibility and making shit happen and being proactive and being responsible and being like present, right? Is That's where the fun is. That's where the joy is. Being a victim just fucking sucks. It sucks, and it can suck away years and years and years and so much energy and like what's it's not it doesn't there's just not any mileage from it. There's not a lot of mileage from being a victim, at least once you get into your 30s. Like it just we choose whether our life is awesome or whether it sucks in every moment. And upping our sense of humor. Like, I'm so sick of all the dourness right now. Like I have a couple handfuls of good friends that have a really awesome sense of humor, and that's like it's so precious right now. We must have to. So the thought exercise is like, okay, what if I have no baseline rights? What if I have desires and I want to make agreements? And just play with that. Play with desires and agreements instead of rights, and see if you actually have a much better day from it. Operate as a wild creature who's making agreements. And of course, we have to live within the structure of society. I'm not saying go hit people or go steal or break laws or anything like that. I'm saying within the context of society, see how free and wild you can be and how you can restructure your mind, because we can be free in our mind and we can still constrict our actual physical 3D behavior. We can get a lot of mileage from being free here. So anyway, have an amazing day, and like and subscribe.